Hello, friends. This is Jennifer Terry, and welcome to my channel. I have very bad news. Last night, we found out that there will be a limit of 1,500 passengers per day for all airlines combined in the Philippines for a month, starting March 18 until April 19.
Manila International Airport shall be limited to a maximum of 1,500 passengers per day for all airlines combined for the period from March 18, 8 a.m. to April 19 at 8 a.m., in line with a directive issued by the Civil Aeronautics Board.
But I'm afraid I have some worse. This is the worst travel restriction they've had. So this morning, we received the IATF memorandum. And lo and behold, what does it say? So this is the memorandum from the National Task Force, the IATF. Memorandum Circular Number 5 of 2021. So due to the increase or significant increase of the cases of the start of the year, it is highly attributed to the increased transmission of non-compliance, especially during gatherings and increased mobility. Let's scroll down, and also they mentioned here how many new variants they have. Okay. But on letter D, we see here that they will be limiting the number of inbound international passengers or arrivals to only 1,500 a day. And listen up, friends. And to temporarily suspend the entry of foreign nationals. So all foreign nationals will be restricted to enter the Philippines for 1 month. Actually, they changed the date. They made it to March 20 to April 19. So it's still, almost a month. It's just a day short. All foreign nationals starting March 20 to April 19 are not allowed to enter the Philippines. And what's worse is, returning overseas Filipinos who are non-OFWs are also restricted from entering the country for this period, March 20 to April 19. And exempted from these travel restrictions are holders of 9C visas. I believe these are seafarers. Medical repatriation and their escorts duly endorsed by the Department of Foreign Affairs of the Undersecretary of the DFA for Migrant Workers, or OWA. And distress ROFs duly endorsed by the DFA, and emergency humanitarian and other analogous cases approved by the NTF COVID-19. And this directive shall be given the appropriate and widest publicity by all concerned agencies. Wow. So the Bureau of Immigration hasn't announced this yet. Why, despite of this just being 2 or 3 days away, They're always late with their announcement, no? They always try to make it up to the very last minute. Wow. With this restriction, no, even Filipinos are restricted from entering their own country. Only OFWs and humanitarian reasons. And if you have a humanitarian or emergency reason, you need to get approved by the NTFC. So how about Filipinos who are students overseas, who cannot afford their studies anymore, they have to go home? Or how about those who are on tourist visas? What are they gonna do? Overstay in whatever country they are right now? And this ban is for 1 month. Wow, this is the worst, Philippines. You're banning your own people. This is so unbelievable. Are we really the reason for the increase in cases? Is it the incoming passengers, international arrivals? These people get tested, man. They stay on the hotel for 7 days. We're waiting for the Bureau of Immigration to give their announcement. Hopefully, it's much clearer because, how can airlines identify who is an OFW and who is not? And oh my gosh, not all OFWs are going home for good. Some of them are only going for vacation. Instead of limiting it to OFW, why not they, try to identify who are going home for good, who are going home for emergency reasons. So again, With this IATF memorandum, all foreign nationals are banned from entering the Philippines starting March 20 until April 19. And the entry will also be limited only for overseas Filipino workers. Non-OFWs, I don't know what's going on in the Philippines. Bakit binabawal na tayong umuwi? We are also Filipino citizens. Why are we banned from entering our own country? This is Isn't this against the law? No? Does Philippines now think that people should be stateless? What? Are we gonna be refugees? Non OFWs? Shocking.